This story is titled, My Family Spent Years Telling Me I Was Lucky They Didn't Give Me Up for Adoption. At 25, I finally asked why. My uncle laughed and said, because you weren't ours to give away. That's how I found out I was the result of something they swore never happened. I confronted them. Now they're desperate to silence me before the truth reaches. One person, my real father. I was 25 when I finally asked. 25 years of swallowing crap sandwiches from my family with a smile because I was lucky they didn't give me up. That was their favorite line, BTW said with a wink or a laugh, like it was some quirky family joke. We kept you. Like I was a clearance item at Walmart they couldn't return. But this time, I snapped. I was at my aunt's place, nursing a warm beer and a colder grudge after yet another round of being the punchline. I looked my uncle dead in the face and said, seriously, why the hell did you guys always act like you were doing me some huge favor by not dumping me in foster care? He laughed. Full-on belly laugh, beer foam in his mustache kind of laugh. Then he said, because you weren't ours to give away. I didn't even respond. Just sat there while his words detonated in my skull like a pipe bomb. Not ours. Not ours. Fast forward to me storming out, knocking over a plastic flamingo in the yard and kicking over a bag of trash on my way to the curb. Because, of course, my family's too classy to use actual trash bins. I didn't even care where I was walking, just knew I couldn't breathe in that house anymore. Like what the actual hell? I made it halfway home before I realized I had left my keys on their cracked patio table next to a paper plate of lukewarm coleslaw. Turned around, back through the war zone of mosquito clouds, and discarded red Solo cups, and there was my cousin Kayla, 21F, on the porch vaping like her life depended on it. She saw my face and froze. You know, don't you, she said, not even bothering to fake innocence. Like this was some rite of passage. I demanded answers. She said, you should talk to Nana. Oh, cool, pass the trauma like a hot potato. Anyway, I did. I called Nana. Yes, the same woman who once told me she never bonded with me the same way she did with the others, and asked point blank, who's my real dad? Dead silence. Then, click. She hung up. The next day, I got a passive-aggressive text from my mom. I hope you're proud of yourself. Nana had to take her blood pressure meds early. Some things are better left buried. Funny choice of words. Since then, it's been like living in a freaking psychological thriller. Weird calls. Cousins unfriending me on Facebook. My aunt made a cryptic post about family traitors who don't appreciate second chances. Pretty sure it was aimed at me since the only other person who pissed her off recently was a Walgreens cashier who wouldn't take her expired coupon. But the best part? Every time I bring it up, my mom says I'm being dramatic and digging up pain for no reason. Lady, you literally told people I was a miracle because you didn't throw me in a dumpster. Forgive me for wanting to know why you acted like I was radioactive growing up. And here's the kicker. I think I know who he is. I think I've known for years. He lives 2 towns over. Owns a landscaping company. Always gave me weird looks at family reunions like he was trying to solve a puzzle. If I'm right, this man has no idea I exist. And now I'm the only one who can tell him. Guess who's not staying silent anymore? So after Uncle drops that nuke about me, not being theirs to give away, and Nana hangs up like she's avoiding a debt collector, I spent the whole night spiraling through the worst family lore rabbit hole ever. Like full-on Reddit detective mode. Old photo albums. Facebook deep dives. Google searches that made me feel like I was about to summon a ghost. The only thing more haunted than my search history was my voicemail. My mom left 4 messages in a row, each one progressively more hysterical. First, it was, call me back. Then, this isn't something to throw around casually. By the 4th one, she was straight up crying and saying, if you talk to him, you'll destroy everything. Destroy what, Mom? The lie y'all built like a freaking Sims house with no doors? Anyway, I didn't call back. Instead, I drove to Nana's place like a maniac and just knocked. She opened the door like she expected me, didn't even pretend to be surprised. Just sighed and said, you're not going to let this go, are you? No, lady. I've been gaslit since I was old enough to spell oops, baby. Now suddenly I find out I'm not even their oops, baby. She sat me down, made her standard bitter-ass coffee, and told me the truth in the same tone she uses when explaining why she refuses to switch from cable to streaming. No emotion, Just facts. Turns out my mom got pregnant at 17. Told everyone it was some random fling. But according to Nana, it wasn't random. It was a secret. A big one. The guy was 19, already dating someone else, and oh yeah, married within the year. Not to my mom, they never told him, not once, because, and I quote, it wouldn't have changed anything. And I just sat there, staring at this floral nightmare of a couch, trying to wrap my head around the fact that my whole life, my name, my birthday parties, my place at the family table, was built on a lie. Then Nana drops the real bomb. The man's name. And like, I knew it. I'd seen him before, twice. Once, when I was like 10 and asked why, Mom's friend Mr. Greg came to Thanksgiving that one year and then never again. They said he moved away. LMAO. Nah, he lives 40 minutes from here. Landscaping biz, 3 kids, dog named Rusty, and a wife who makes inspirational quote signs on Etsy. I stalked his whole life in 15 minutes. He has no idea. Not a damn clue that a whole-ass adult out here is probably his first kid. So now I'm sitting on this nuclear warhead of a secret, and my family is freaking out. Mom texted me 11 times this morning. My aunt called me sobbing. My cousin Kayla posted a cryptic Insta story that said, "Some people don't deserve closure," with a black heart emoji. I'm not even sure she knows what that means. I asked one thing, why they treated me like the family's charity case, and accidentally hit the detonate button on decades of dysfunction. But here's the part that really sent me into orbit. My mom showed up at my apartment. Yep. Full crazy-eyed, robe-wearing, mascara-running breakdown on my doorstep. She banged on the door like a zombie in a horror movie, then collapsed into my arms sobbing and whispering, "Please don't ruin his life. Please don't ruin mine." Like I'm the villain in this telenovela. Not the woman who lied to a man about a child for 25 years and raised said child with all the warmth of a space heater in a blizzard. I told her, "You had your chance to tell the truth. Now it's my turn." So I told my mom, "It's my turn now." And I meant that with every fiber of my petty little soul. I didn't yell. I didn't throw anything. I just said it calm, which honestly scared her more than if I had screamed. She looked at me like I was holding a lit match over her whole life. Then she did the most on-brand thing ever. She tried to guilt-trip me into silence. She goes, "You don't know what it was like being 17 and scared. I did what I had to do to protect you." And I just stared at her like, protect me from what? A decent life? Emotional stability? A father who didn't treat me like a clearance rack accident? I didn't say that, though. Instead, I said, "Cool, but you didn't protect me. You protected yourself and then passed me around like an emotional hand-me-down." Her face did that twitchy thing it does when she's about to cry but doesn't want to mess up her concealer. Then she tried bargaining. "What if we all just moved on? What good would it do to dredge this up now?" I actually laughed, like ugly, loud, manic laughter. Because oh my god, the audacity of this woman thinking she could bury the truth with a few fake tears and a promise to move on. Ma'am, this isn't a Target return, this is my entire identity. So she left, stormed off muttering about how I was choosing chaos. Damn right I am. And that's when things went nuclear. Because I texted Greg. Yep. Real name, real number, real message. Short and to the point. "Hi, I think I might be your son. If you're willing to talk, I'm ready. I don't want anything from you. Just the truth." I hit send and immediately felt like I was about to vomit up my skeleton. "But guess what?" he replied. "In like 12 minutes. "Who is this? I don't understand." So I gave him my name, told him who my mom was. And y'all, the silence that followed? I swear, time paused. Then he called me. He called. Me. And I couldn't answer. I panicked. Literally threw my phone across the couch like it was hot lava. Sat there staring at it while it buzzed and buzzed. Then it stopped. Then a voicemail. I haven't listened to it yet. I will. But I needed a minute, or 3 days. Meanwhile, my phone's melting from texts. My aunt made a new family group chat called Private Matters, LOL, and added me to it like that would de-escalate anything. First message? "Let's all take a breath and agree that what's done is done." I replied with a screenshot of the text from Greg. No one said a damn word for 2 hours. Then Kayla messaged, "You're being really selfish." Girl? Selfish? I've eaten your dry-ass Thanksgiving stuffing in silence for years. Don't test me. My uncle tried calling me disrespectful. I told him to go polish his beer gut and stay in his lane. Then I left the chat and blocked all of them. I'm not playing family PR anymore. They're spiraling. I'm calm. But don't get it twisted. I'm not okay. I cried in the shower for like 45 minutes last night. Sat on the floor in a towel, just soaking and sobbing like I was in some off-brand music video. It hurts, all of it. Being lied to. Treated like a secret. Watching people beg me to stay quiet not because they care about me, but because they care about their stupid reputations and group photos with matching polos. But also, it feels kinda good. Like, the power shift? Chef's kiss. So, remember how I said Greg left a voicemail? Yeah, I finally listened to it. Middle of the night, 2 a.m., lights off, curled up on my crappy futon eating cold lasagna with a plastic fork because I was too emotionally wrecked to do dishes. Perfect ambiance for life-altering revelations. His voice sounded older than I remembered, raspier, but calm. Like the kind of calm people fake when they're one deep breath away from throwing up. He said, "If this is true, if you're really my son, I need to know everything. Please call me back. I never knew. If I had known, things would have been different. I swear to you." And just like that, everything broke. Like, something inside me actually snapped. Because he sounded honest. Not perfect, not polished, just wrecked. Like a man trying to build a time machine out of regret. So I called him back. Don't even know how I got through the call without sobbing or screaming or throwing my phone into traffic. We talked for almost 2 hours. Turns out, yeah. My mom never said a word to him, not once. She ghosted him before ghosting was even a thing. Blocked his number, ducked mutual friends, didn't even tell him she was pregnant. He said he thought she'd moved on, that their thing was over. That when he saw me at that Thanksgiving, the one I vaguely remember as the awkward one with the green bean casserole no one ate, he wondered. Said he even asked someone, and my aunt told him, "Don't be ridiculous." Bro was gaslit by the whole squad. And get this, he wanted kids. Always did. Tried with his wife for years, but it didn't happen. They ended up adopting later on, but he said if he'd known I existed, he would have fought for me. I just sat there, holding the phone to my ear, realizing I was the missing puzzle piece in someone else's entire damn life. Then the anger kicked in. Hard. Like, they really let me grow up thinking I was some inconvenience they graciously decided not to discard. Meanwhile, this man was out there waiting for a kid he didn't know he had. And the family? Oh, they're still scrambling. Still trying to get ahead of the narrative like it's some PR disaster. Kayla DM'd me yesterday with, "Just so you know, Nana's in the hospital now. Hope you're happy." Like, girl, what? Did I blackmail a senior citizen into hiding a child for 25 years? Or did your crusty bloodline do that to yourselves? Then my mom, oh, this part's rich, sent me a literal handwritten letter. Like we're in colonial times. Said she, "Hopes I'll find it in my heart to forgive her someday." But this is tearing the family apart. So I texted her back, "Nah, you tore it apart. I'm just airing out the wreckage." Honestly, at this point, I don't even care if they hate me. The truth was never going to come gift-wrapped. And I'm done being polite about it. Greg wants to meet. In person. Next week. Says his wife knows, his kids know, and they want to meet me too. Like, they're actually excited. Excited. Never in my life has the word family meant welcome before. I don't even know what to do with that. Meanwhile, back at the dysfunctional ranch, the group chat is dead. The holiday invites stopped coming, and my mom's latest Facebook status was a blurry photo of a candle with the caption, "Some people were born to ruin everything." LMFAO, okay, Hallmark villain. Next week, I find out what it's like to sit across from the man who should have been there all along. And maybe, just maybe, I start figuring out who the hell I actually am. So I met him. Greg. My maybe dad. My "you weren't ours to give away" origin story. And I'm still trying to figure out what version of reality I'm supposed to live in now because nothing feels real anymore. We met at this basic diner halfway between our towns. His idea. Public place, neutral territory. He even texted to say he'd get there early, just in case I wanted to bail. Like, sir, if I was gonna bail, it would have been last night when I panic ate 3 bowls of cereal at 1 a.m. and tried to talk myself out of existing. I got there 15 minutes late because of course I did. Anxiety makes me extra, and I changed my shirt 3 times like it was a job interview for the role of long-lost son number 1. He stood when I walked in. That messed me up more than I want to admit. Because no one in my so-called family has ever stood up when I entered a room. Not for birthdays, not for Christmas, not when I graduated community college with a 3.8, and no one showed up except my roommate's ex-girlfriend. But Greg stood and smiled. And yeah, I almost turned around and walked right out because my fight-or-flight response was sprinting around my body like a cracked-out squirrel. But I sat down. He looked nervous. Not like performative nervous, but like his soul was trembling. Said my name like he was tasting it for the first time. Asked if he could shake my hand and then actually waited for my answer. And I said yes, I don't even know why. Instinct, maybe. Trauma brain being polite. But his hand was warm, calloused, like he actually works. And not in the I post passive-aggressive memes about Mondays kind of way like my uncle. We talked, and it was so weirdly easy. We didn't get deep right away. It was small talk, safe stuff. Do you like dogs? What do you do for work? What's your favorite movie? Which sounds dumb when I type it out, but it was like we were both scared to admit what this really was. And then he said it. I didn't know. If I had, you'd have had a very different life. I believe him. And I hate that I do, because believing him means accepting that my mom, my whole family, robbed both of us of something that could have been real, stable, maybe even good. He said he thought about me a lot over the years, even without knowing I existed. Like he could feel something was missing. He kept looking at me like I was the answer to a question he didn't know he was asking. And I sat there thinking, this man bought me a grilled cheese sandwich without trying to emotionally manipulate me. Is this what dads are supposed to be like? Then he said something that cracked me wide open. I don't want to push. If you want nothing to do with me, I'll understand. But if you want something, anything, I'm here. No pressure. No strings. Just here. I had to go to the bathroom just to cry like a feral raccoon in peace. Locked myself in the stall and just broke. All the grief I didn't know I'd been carrying started leaking out of my face like my soul sprang a leak. Because nobody has ever just been here for me. We hugged before I left. That wasn't planned. I just did it. And it felt like exhaling for the first time in 25 years. Then I drove home in silence and didn't answer any of my family's 37 missed calls, 12 texts, and 1 voicemail where Nana said, "You're going to ruin a good man's life over a teenage mistake." Lady, I just met the good man. You're the mistake. So, it's official. The minute Greg and I hugged outside that crusty-ass diner, like 2 trauma survivors in a Hallmark movie written by someone with daddy issues, the family lost their damn minds. Like they must have felt a disturbance in the force, because by the time I got home, my phone was vibrating like a cracked-out beeper in 1996. Texts, calls, missed FaceTimes. 1 WhatsApp message from my cousin in Arizona I haven't spoken to in years. Hey, just checking in. Heard you're causing a lot of waves. Hope you're okay. Girl, we haven't spoken since Obama was president. Stay in your lane. Then came the group email. Not even kidding. Subject line. Moving forward with grace. Sent from my aunt's Gmail, written like some church newsletter nobody asked for. She really opened with, families are complex systems and sometimes emotional wounds cause confusion. Let's remember our shared values and keep communication respectful. Shared values? Sis, y'all lied to me for 25 years. The only value you shared was gaslight the kid and hope he doesn't ask questions. I didn't reply. Just forwarded it to Greg and wrote, meet the crisis PR team. But the pièce de resistance? My mom. This woman showed up at my job. Not in a normal, maybe we can talk kind of way. No. Full Karen mode meltdown in the parking lot like we were filming a reality TV episode called Keeping Up with the Unacknowledged Offspring. I work at a tech firm. She pulled up in her dusty Toyota, wearing sunglasses and tears, screaming about how you're throwing away everything we've built. Everything you built, ma'am. I was just the unpaid extra in your Lifetime movie. My manager pulled me aside, asked if I needed to take some personal time. I said no, because if I didn't keep typing emails about bug reports, I was going to commit a felony. And of course, now they care about optics. Now it's, you're hurting the family. And what if this gets out? Like I've got a damn press conference scheduled. Spoiler. I might. Not out of spite. Okay, maybe a little. But because Greg asked if I'd consider taking a paternity test so we can be sure. As if I didn't already feel it. In my bones. In the way his laugh sounds like mine. In the way he listens. Actually listens. Like my words matter and aren't just waiting to be corrected or minimized. But sure, we'll do the test. Just to give the family something new to freak out about. Oh, and the best part? Greg told me something huge. His wife, who is honestly a saint for not having drop-kicked him for keeping a secret kid, even though it's not his fault, wants to meet me. His kids want to meet me. I've got half-siblings, people who are excited to know me, not ashamed I exist. Wild concept. Meanwhile, my cousin Kayla just posted a meme on her story that said, "Some people just love playing victim." Captioned, "It's always the ones with daddy issues." Girl, you still owe me $40 from 2018. Sit down. Anyway, I'm keeping receipts. All of them. Screenshots, texts, that stupid newsletter email. I've started a folder on my desktop called Family Lies and Other Greatest Hits, just in case I need to publish a tell-all memoir someday. Greg's side of the family? They're lining up to welcome me. My mom's side? Trying to exile me like I exposed national security secrets. And me? I'm somewhere in between, eating frozen waffles at 2 a.m. and trying to figure out if healing is even real, or just a scam made up by therapists with coastal zip codes. But one thing's for sure. The truth is out, and I'm never going back to pretending it didn't matter. Alright, so I took the damn test. Saliva in a tube, barcode scanned, DNA confirmed. My trauma now has receipts. 23 pairs of chromosomes worth of evidence saying, "Yeah, bud, you were right the whole time." Greg is my dad, 99.99%. Maury voice levels of certainty. And the weirdest part? No fireworks. No dramatic music. Just me, sitting alone in my room, holding a piece of paper that simultaneously validated my existence and made me want to scream into a pillow for 3 days straight. Greg cried. On the phone. Full on, "I missed your whole childhood and I'll never forgive myself." Sobs. I didn't cry. Not because I didn't feel it, but because my emotional core is just a burnout circuit board right now. Like, bro, I'm maxed out. I'm still running on fumes and freezer waffles. But yeah, we're related. And now? Now he wants to introduce me to everyone. His wife? Already added me on Facebook with a message like, "You're welcome here, always. We'd love to know you." And his kids, my half-siblings, sent me a group selfie holding a little whiteboard that said, "Hey, my name. Can't wait to meet our bro, yo." Like this is some cheesy Netflix movie and not the emotional fallout of 25 years of secrets. Meanwhile, my mom has entered full denial mode. Her latest move? Pretending like none of this ever happened. She texted me a video of our old dog from when I was 12. No caption, just vibes. Like that was going to erase the fact that she spent 2 decades lying to my face about who I was. I didn't respond. Then she sent, "Just thinking about simpler times. Hope you're well." Simpler times? Ma'am, is that what we're calling gaslighting a child for his entire existence now? Anyway, I met the new family, in person. We did brunch. Because of course we did. And let me just say, brunch hits different when no one there is pretending you're an accident they graciously chose to keep. Greg's wife? Warm, steady. She hugged me like I wasn't radioactive, asked if I had food allergies, told me she bought oat milk just in case. I almost cried over oat milk. That's where I'm at emotionally. His daughter, Maya, 17F, made a playlist for our first hang. His son, Ben, 14M, asked if I liked horror movies and if I wanted to come over for their next Friday pizza night. I said yes before I even thought about it. And the whole time, Greg just kept looking at me like I was a miracle he thought he'd lost before he even had. And y'all, that broke me. Because suddenly I was surrounded by people who didn't flinch when I spoke, didn't interrupt, didn't minimize, didn't act like I was some burden they were forced to love out of obligation. They just wanted me there. And I realized, this is what family is supposed to feel like. I went home that night and sat in the dark for a long time. No TV, No music, just me and the silence. And for the first time in my entire life, it wasn't heavy. Of course, the original family is still spiraling. Apparently, my mom had some kind of meltdown at church, and now I'm the subject of a prayer circle, according to a Facebook comment from someone named Aunt Debbie who always smelled like menthols and judgment. Kayla's still posting vague subtweets. Uncle Dave texted me, "Be careful who you hurt on your healing journey." I sent him back a screenshot of the DNA results. No response. Oh, and Nana? Heard she's been telling people I made the whole thing up to get attention. Like I forged paternity documents in Photoshop for the clout. Sure, Jan. I'm not even angry anymore, just done. They built a house out of lies, and now they're mad the roof's caving in. Not my problem. I'm building something new, and it doesn't include any of them. So here we are. Final chapter. I'd love to say this ends with some neat little bow. Me hugging my mom, everyone crying, group photo on Thanksgiving like we're one big emotionally healed sitcom. But nah, this ain't a redemption arc. It's a release. 2 days ago, I blocked them. All of them. No warning. No dramatic final speech. Just a hard, clean block. Kayla, Aunt Passive-Aggressive, Uncle Trauma Deflector, Nana the Denial Queen, and yes, my mom. I wiped the group chats, deleted the emails, archived the drama folder, and shut the door. It was like taking off shoes I didn't know were too tight until they were gone. Quiet. Still. Freeing. See, the thing about truth is, it doesn't always fix things. Sometimes it burns them down. And that's good. That's necessary. Some things need to burn to make space for anything real to grow. Greg's family? They're not perfect, but they're here. Like really here. Ben asked if he could call me Big Bro yesterday, and I had to pretend I had something in my eye so I wouldn't cry in a Target parking lot. Maya started texting me random memes like we've been siblings since birth. Greg, he sent me this dumb little keychain that says, "Proud Dad," on one side and "Est, 1998" on the other. Said he knows it's late, but better late than never. He gets it, and that's enough. The old family tried one last play. Yesterday, my mom mailed a package. No note, just a box full of old photos. Me as a baby, birthdays, school plays, stuff I barely remember. I looked through it once, quietly. Didn't cry, didn't scream. Just stared at those photos and felt nothing. Because yeah, I was in the pictures, but I wasn't seen. Not really. I was tolerated. Shaped into a version of myself that wouldn't rattle their fragile narrative. And now that I'm out, they miss the illusion more than they miss me. So I taped the box shut and dropped it off at Goodwill. Maybe someone else can use those picture frames. This morning, I made pancakes for Greg's family. Oat milk, blueberries, the whole overachiever Sunday breakfast vibe. Maya made a playlist. Ben spilled syrup everywhere. We laughed. And I sat there, looking around at these people who didn't raise me but chose me anyway. And I realized, this is the family I deserved all along. Not the one that hoarded secrets like heirlooms. Not the one that told me I should be grateful to even exist. Not the one that tried to silence me with shame. I don't owe them closure or kindness or anything, really. I owe myself peace. And I'm finally claiming it. So to anyone out there who's ever felt like the family add-on, the accident, the secret, the mistake, you're not. You're a goddamn miracle. And if they can't see it, walk away and let them spend the rest of their lives squinting at the void you left behind.